Taintal Dust. So this is what's happening in the UK right now, and this is what's going to be happening in America very soon. Peace, blessings, and shine on. What up, everybody at Taintal Dust? So this is what's happening in the UK right now, and this is what's going to be happening in America very soon.
Protests have been held in London over the introduction of digital identification. The ID will be needed in order to live and work in the UK.
Well, thousands have actually taken part in this through central London this afternoon, culminating here at Downing Street, where they wanted to make the point right outside the seat of power. And what's interesting about the people gathered here today is the fact that there's so many people that you wouldn't really expect to be at a protest ordinarily. People who just feel very strongly that they feel this is taking society in the wrong direction. They very much think that these digital ID cards are the wrong way to go. They say it's a risk to their security and to their privacy, and they say they will hold protests like this until these ideas are scrapped. Well, the government's insisted that they're going to make people's lives easier if they're introduced in 2029. That it'll be an app on your smartphone, a bit like the NHS app that many people have got, and it will give people access to some of the public services and make life easier, and also to tackle illegal migration as well by proving people's right to work. But these proposals have been criticised by a lot of people who say this is like a digitisation of personal information. It raises some questions, as I say, about where this data and these details go. Well, I've been talking to some people here about what they think. Let's hear what some of the protesters have to say about this idea.
We want our freedom. We need to keep control of our sovereignty. End of. You start down this route and then it just goes on. Yeah? I'm born here. I live here. I've got an address here. I pay council tax here.
So you just don't think it's necessary?
Nobody wants to be chipped and pinned and corralled and computerised and controlled by the government, which is what this is all about. Digital ID. It's not about keeping immigration down. You don't need... The Navy can do that. The law can do that. It's about controlling us.
Well, it's not just members of the public unhappy at these plans. Political parties have also said they don't support them. The Conservative Party said this is a gimmick and it won't stop the boats. Nigel Farage said he'd oppose the idea. And the Lib Dems say they wouldn't support people being made to turn over their private data. But certainly a very strong feeling here in London. They say they won't stop until these plans are thrown out.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Makaha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS where I learned from. Shalom to those for elect. Preach this word in truth and sincerity to you ribs, to your sisters out there learning in silence, and stay in order. I say to you all, Shalom. So we already know where this is going. You know, it says they're gonna use this as a convenience, right? Now this is why this is the reason why they was flooding immigrants. I'm talking about everywhere, not just here, but like in other countries. Like there was an influx of immigrants everywhere. This is a plot, right? Like I don't know how dumb these elites think people are. Like you can't put two and two together, right? Like they was having this issue in London, Britain, Germany. Like you see a lot of immigrant violence. Like these people will push in these places for a reason to create chaos. This is why Biden, right, brought in extra amounts of Venezuelans. Now, that was that double-edged sword too. He brought prisoners, ex-prisoners and things like that. You know, gave them homes, let them steal phones. right? Made headlines over it. A couple people died over it. Made a big deal out of it. Then comes Trump, right? The Jewish man, and saves the day and gets rid of a lot of the immigrants, right? So then what? We already knew something was coming. And this is it. That's so they can implement the CHIP digital ID to keep track of people. This is why, man. And not only that, this just push war against Venezuela with the U.S. even further, because now Venezuela is at war with the U.S. and they're backed by Russia. So this is the Cuban Missile Crisis times 2.0, should I say. Like, this is scriptures say, man, there's nothing new under the sun, man. But we're going to live in a time where it's going to be like no other, right? It's going to be like all the tribulations wrapped into one. It's going to be ugly, man. They already threatening for food stamps. Like, they're really pushing. You know, this Trumpito here, it's making it harder for families to get food stamps. And if you're a woman with children above the age of, what was it, 14, then you don't get food stamps. You have to meet the minimum work requirement, which is 80 hours a month. Right? And let's just say, right, that these people do find jobs, right? There's not a lot of jobs to begin with out there. So you're going to force more people to work in places where they can't even find work. It's getting real ugly, man. We coming to the end of this, and call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for that, man, because we're just tired of being here anyway. We hate the system, right? Right, because the love of the world, man. It's like, if you love the world, then you don't love the Father. It's why when you ask a Christian, like, and they see all these things going on, and you know, their main premise is like, hey, man, you know, they want this thing to be fixed. They want everything to be better. They want, you know, they see a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. That's how they talk about this place. You know, and I always bring it up, like, don't you want this place to go down? Like, does your faith say that, you know, that your Messiah will come and, you know, fix everything? Don't you want that, or you want to keep living here? You know, and the Christians just don't know what to say about that, because they really just don't want to. They really don't believe, man. That's what it comes down to. Right? There's no faith. Right? This is verse 8. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. Right? That's what we have. When all this chaos is going out and about, man, we out here, we faithful, and we have the scriptures, you know, because the knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. That's what we lean on, man. We want this thing to go down, because we know that the Lord's gonna protect the elect, man. And Lord willing, we are that number. But yeah, man, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kahakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who I learned from. Shalom to all for light, preaching His word and truth, sincerity to you ribs, to you sisters out there learning silence and staying in order. I say to you all, Shalom.